Yesterday was an awesome day. For once, after 10 days of searching for it, I actually found the Epic Ether Tool schematic. And in the same day, we actually got a huge blog post encompassing everything that is coming to Modern Warfare 3 Zombies in Season 1. And after 20 minutes, I lost that schematic due to a glitch that sent me under the map and killed me, losing that schematic, which means I will have to continue searching for that schematic for the next week. But I digress. Today's video is about the updates that are coming to Modern Warfare 3 Zombies in the next season, and it is actually massive. Which, by the way, we're talking about schematics right now, so might as well continue talking about the schematics that are coming in Season 1 to Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. Many schematics have been detailed so far to come in Season 1, which is coming out in less than a week from today's video release, by the way. For one, we are getting something called the dog bone, and basically what the dog bone does is that it spawns in a friendly hound at the highest tier. And if you're not familiar, this hound will protect you, it will attract a lot of attention from zombies, it will kill zombies for you, and in case you go down, it will revive you. Let's get this gun pack-a-punch right now. So the dog bone is actually gonna make your life way easier, especially if you are a solo player, because this dog is virtually unkillable within the tier 1 and tier 2 zones. The only moments I've seen this dog die was in the tier 3 zone when we were fighting HVT Mega Abominations. And if you've watched any of my videos, you'd notice that every single time I prioritize that dog actually surviving before going in a fight. That's how important the dog is. And we're actually getting a schematic to spawn in with the dog off spawn, and this is actually awesome. The next schematic that is also coming in Season 1 is the golden armor plate. And what this is supposed to do is that it will replenish armors automatically, similar to how your health replenishes. But I'd imagine it would be a little bit slower. But considering what's to come, you might need that kind of level of protection, especially when you're going into the dark ether rifts, which I'll talk about in a second. Another schematic, and this one I am personally very excited about, is the Ether Blade. And if you've watched the Guardians of the Galaxy from Marvel, do you remember that character called Yondu that has like this arrow that floats above his head and he just kills everyone with it? That's pretty much what the Ether Blade is. It is described as a throwing knife that acts as a boomerang, and you have as much ammo of it as you want, so you can just keep using it and using it. And every single time you throw it, it will start killing all the zombies around, going from one target to the other until all the targets are dead, and then it returns back to you. And if that doesn't sound hype, I don't know. Like, that is actually insane. I feel like it is as good as a wonder weapon. There's the mimic, and there he is gone. There you go. So talking about the Ether Blade, I very much imagine that the cooldown on the Ether Blade would be very similar to other wonder weapons. In other words, you will only be able to use it every 48 hours. But this is just me speculating, so take that with a grain of salt. But by the way, you see this chunk of flesh? I always collect those in the beginning of the game. Now we have 3 chunks of flesh, and this is how we can spawn in the hound as of right now before we even get the schematic. And the hound is always located over here. But there are other lower tier hounds around the map, but that one hound over there is a consistent spawn, and it's a tier 3 hound. The next schematic that was also mentioned within the blog post is actually the schematic of a new wonder weapon, the VR11. And this wonder weapon is described as a weapon that turns zombies into humans and turns hostile humans to friendly zombies, which I am very much excited to know how this one works. It feels a little bit weird thinking that I am turning a zombie into a human, and then that just turned human is now being devoured by other zombies instead of me. But who knows? We'll see how it plays out. Another schematic is actually the like button schematic, but that actually comes way before Season 1. This schematic is available right now under this video. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding, guys, but please like the video. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you. This is the hound, by the way. So what you need to do here is chuck 3 flesh into it, and it will come out and it will help you out. Look at this. This is the hound. Pet the dog. And if you are wondering why you want to like this video, it's just because I'm petting the dog. That's the one reason that you need to care about. There have been a lot more rumored schematics that are coming in Season 1. But then again, these are rumored, so take them with a grain of salt. And one being the schematic for the Scorcher, which is currently a wonder weapon that has no schematic, but streamers such as Dalek JD, they saw that schematic in the playtest. That is, back then when they visited Treyarch Studio and they played Modern Warfare Zombies early, they actually found that Scorcher schematic in the game. So it is rumored to come within Season 1, and if it doesn't come in Season 1 at launch, it might come in Season 1 Reloaded, which is the mid-season. Another rumored schematic was the Blood Burner, which, in case you have never seen it, it's like a bike that talks to you and kills everything. I don't know, I'm really making it lame describing it, but maybe I have some footage to show you guys. Hopefully I have a little bit of footage to show you what I'm talking about. But it is one of the coolest things in the game, and it is actually super rare to find also. Like, I've only found it about 4 times in all of my hours of playing. It is right now available in the game, but if we actually get a schematic for it, you will find it much more commonly because people will just spawn in and use it off spawn. It can even one-shot Stormcaller, which is notoriously one of the hardest bosses in the game. But keep in mind, these are only rumors and they were not mentioned within the blog post. It's just people talking. Could be factual, could be not. Take it with a grain of salt. The next thing I want to talk about is called the Dark Ether Rifts, and I mentioned those a little bit too lightly. Hold up, let me take care of this. Yep. Oh my god, he's very low health. I actually saved him with that. I'm sorry, Fufu. You're back though, you're good, you're good. I'll take care of you this time. He's healing, he's healing. He's good, guys, he's good. Don't worry about him. So what the Dark Ether Rifts, they're described as rifts that will take you to another map with certain challenges. And it was also described, but this is not in the blog post, they were described as a Zone 4. So it's an even higher threat zone than the high threat zone, which I can very much imagine that all these new items like the golden armor plate and the ether blade, they're gonna be pretty much requirements for you to get there and actually survive. It is also shown in the pictures that Orcus is there, which is supposed to be the final boss of Modern Warfare Zombies, but it is shown as if that he's just another mob, similar to how mega abominations are in the high threat zones. And what you're supposed to do there is that you're supposed to do certain challenges on a certain timer. And the timer is set to be 30 minutes. So I'd imagine like you'd have a lot of time, maybe. But since the threat is really, really high, they also say that the reward is really, really high. So I can very much imagine that there are certain schematics that are only accessible within the Dark Ether Rifts. Another thing that I noticed, and this one feels a bit too blatant, is that the map for the Dark Ether Rifts is actually Al Mazrah, specifically Al Bagra Fortress. Like, look at these pictures, right? You can see Orcus right here is on the beach of Al Bagra Fortress. Another picture here is also shown in Al Bagra Fortress, and this picture here with the Mimic and the Disciple, it clearly shows Al Bagra Fortress. It's even written on the walls. So I don't know how to feel about that, repurposing Al Mazrah for the Dark Ether Rifts. But I guess since it's there, so might as well? I don't know, how do you guys feel about that? I played an entire year of Al Mazrah on DMZ, but this feels a little bit weird to me. Oh yeah, I knew you were a Mimic. Bugger off. If you have PhD, you actually don't take gas damage. And there we go, we're done with the stronghold. Continuing the talk on Dark Ether Rift. So basically how you open those is by finding certain symbols, or called sigils. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word right, but basically once you find these characters, a portal will open up and it will take you to a new map with these challenges. I am very excited to see how this plays out. Like a bigger challenge than the high threat zone is something that sounds very, very exciting to me. There's also a mention of a new human boss within Urzikstan that is called Dokebi. I'm probably pronouncing that one wrong also. She's described as an aerial attack master or something like that. So basically she uses drones to attack from above. It sounds really annoying if you ask me. And I can very much imagine that new act missions are coming where you actually have to defeat her to progress. Similar to how Legacy was. This is another doghouse, by the way. Keep your eyes peeled for those, they're really, really important. There's something really interesting to talk about when it comes to the KB though, and that is one of the new guns that is coming out is supposed to be a launcher that launches like EMP signals where it disables kill streaks. So I'm very much considering that launcher might be meta against Dukebi, but there's also a huge plethora of new guns that are coming in Season 1. I don't feel like detailing them in this video, just for the sake of brevity. Hopefully I'll try to address it in future videos. So double check if you're subscribed to the channel or not so you can catch the new videos when they come out. So my final thoughts on the Season 1 update is that there's a buttload of content, and I feel like this blog post only mentions a portion of what is actually coming, and it's barely scratching the surface of what is coming to Zombies. The biggest changes in the blog post were actually coming to Warzone and multiplayer, so I have a very strong feeling that we're gonna get another blog post detailing everything that is coming to Zombies even more. Could be wrong, but we'll have to see. And when it does come out, I'll make sure to make a video on it. Personally, my biggest hopes is to see more bug fixes and, you know, closing glitches in general. And I would also like to see a bigger rework to the risk reward system right now. A lot of contracts right now feel that have very low risk and sometimes high reward, and sometimes it feels like these contracts have very high risk but very low reward. I really hope the developers take a look into that. And a very short example is the escort contract within the tier 3 zone. One of the hardest contracts to complete, but sometimes it can just end up giving you a rare ether tool or just a cryo freeze ammo mod, which when it does, it is very infuriating. I would like to hear from you guys in the comments. What do you guys think about the Season 1 update? Do you think it's good enough? Do you think it's too much? Do you think it's too little? What are you most excited about of what's to come? Are you excited about the new changes? Are you excited about the Dark Ether Rifts? Are you excited about the new story missions, the new guns, the new schematics? Tell me in the comments, you guys. I pretty much read all the comments. Thank you for watching, you guys, and have a good one. Goodbye.